Thank you everyone for attending today. My name is Mark Gorsch. I'm this year's board chair for the Joliet Region Chamber of Commerce. I'd like to welcome everybody again to lunch today. As many of you guys are aware, we lost a great friend this past weekend. So we'd just like to open up with a moment of silence to honor the great service that Ruth Colby, the president and CEO of Silver Cross Hospital, brought to our community. Thank you. At this time, we're going to go ahead and serve lunch, and then we're going to get the program started around 12:30. Thank you again. Hope everyone enjoyed a delicious lunch. We're going to go ahead and get started with our program today. I'd like to make an introduction for our speaker. As a lifelong resident, Jennifer Bertino-Tarrant is honored to serve as Will County's Chief Executive Officer. She's a champion for hardworking families and businesses in Will County and brings an extensive background in education advocacy, innovation, and public service. Prior to her role as the county executive, Jennifer served 2 terms in the Illinois General Assembly. As a state senator, Jennifer was a leading advocate for public education and was an architect in reforming Illinois' broken education funding system. She began her career as a teacher and a school principal, which prepared her to lead important initiatives to benefit teachers, students, as well as their families. She was elected the Will County Regional Superintendent of Schools in 2006, where she increased services for at-risk students and advocated for quality professional development opportunities for teachers. Jennifer graduated from St. Francis Academy in Joliet before earning a bachelor's degree from Illinois State University and a master's degree in curriculum and instruction from the University of St. Francis. In 2007, she completed her doctorate at Loyola University in curriculum instruction. Please join me in welcoming Jennifer.
Ooh, lighting up here is really bad. So we're going to do our best here. You're going to see me with glasses and squinting here. Well, good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy day to be here. Thank you to our friends at the Joliet Chamber for inviting me to speak here today. I appreciate everyone in this room who is interested in learning more about the good things that we are doing here in Will County. However, before I begin, I would like to reflect on 2 sad events that occurred this past weekend. So this is really hard for me because coming up here before people know me, I'm kind of a smart aleck. I like to joke, get the nerves down, so I'm going to try to keep myself together. First is the sudden loss of a pillar in our community, Ruth Colby. Ruth will forever be known for her strong and impactful leadership at Silver Cross Hospital, where she elevated the institution and expanded the level of healthcare services in our community. We also remember Ruth for her community involvement, much too many to list. Ruth was an advocate for all. She was a doer, making sure visions came to reality and ideas were successful. To say the least, her loss will be felt deeply in our community. She was a passionate worker, a strong mentor, and a friend to many. Also this weekend, we had a horrific situation happen in unincorporated Plainfield on Saturday. Sometimes an action is so repulsive that it can literally leave you speechless. This brutal attack has shaken many of us. My heart breaks for the 6-year-old boy, Wadia, who lost his life, his mother, who is in intensive care, and their family. This was more than a violent act. It was a targeted act of hate. Hatred has no place in our community. No one, and certainly no family, should feel afraid of violence against them based on their religion or place of origin. Yesterday, hosted by our Plainfield Park District, the Plainfield community came together to provide support and love to the family and to each other. We coupled this with what seems to be a lot of intense energy lately, but it is our response to how we address our differences that must be kept in check. During times like this, it can be difficult to feel hopeful about the future, but I will remain hopeful, stay focused, optimistic, and continue to lead respectfully. Over the last 3 years, I have seen many reasons to feel positive about our future. And this morning, I am honored to share these with you. Thanks to the efforts of many of you in this room, I've been invited to ribbon cuttings across the county for new businesses and industries that are creating jobs and offering livable wages. I've had the opportunity to work with local leaders who are building vibrant communities that are attracting new residents from all over the country. And I hear stories of hope from people and organizations who are strengthening our safety net and offering a helping hand to our neighbors in need. In my position, I see the important role that county government plays in people's lives. And so I will begin by thanking my staff, the important people who make me look good. We have our workforce investment. I have many of my directors sitting here at this table as well. So I thank you personally for all the work that you do on behalf of the county. I'd also like to thank the elected officials in this room. We are truly partners, and I appreciate the friendship in helping us succeed as a whole. Our employees in a variety of departments offer services to the public and programs that provide direct assistance to residents and communities. Each year, I remind the audience of the established set of core principles that guide my office's activities on a daily basis. I challenge my leadership to think creatively about ways to streamline government, provide more efficient and effective services, and create a modern government that works for all residents. The need for this is clear. Will County's population continues to grow, and we need to be prepared for an increasing demand for county services. Our departments are working to find new ways to adapt to changes, respond to challenges, and most importantly, prepare for the future. One of the most important ways we can do this is to ensure that we're spending taxpayer dollars responsibly. This is especially true for our increasing capital needs. Our capital planning process has helped us prioritize our needs and make sure that our county offices aren't competing with each other for resources. We did this knowing that capital planning decisions are policy decisions and reflect our priorities as a government. For example, last year's investment in an expanded behavioral health suite at the Will County Health Department reflected increased focus by county government to expand mental health services. My office is also helping the Children Advocacy Center under State's Attorney Jim Glasgow's office with their move to a more welcoming, visible, better suited facility. This new facility will more effectively support their efforts to care for children who have experienced abuse and domestic violence. By doing a better job with planning ahead to address our capital needs, we are able to properly spend within our means. Nowhere was this more apparent than during the construction of the new state-of-the-art coroner's facility. We worked closely with the coroner to set a plan, follow it, and deliver a building on time and on budget. Modernizing how we do business as a county also means changing how we reach residents. We need to continue to be innovative in how residents can access our services, especially in a county as large as ours. This is why we've expanded our digital tools to reach people in need and support those seeking assistance. A significant example is our 211 helpline, which is in its second year managed by the United Way of Will County. 211 has revolutionized how residents can connect with resources throughout the county, providing free multilingual information and referral system. Residents can text, call, or email the helpline to connect with local services. Over 4,000 residents have already reached out to 911 with over 12,000 referrals to local services. United Way has experienced a 63% increase in usage over last year. We want the trend to continue to know that there is help, so I'm asking everyone in this room to help us spread this word about this important resource. Another example is the recently launched Ready Will County app. Initiated by our emergency management agency, this new app allows residents to receive real-time emergency alerts and directly access a trusted source of information during an emergency. I do want to take a moment and recognize our amazing EMA staff who has been doing outstanding work over the last year under the leadership of Director Allison Anderson. They have a small team and a dedicated group of volunteers who keep our county prepared for all kinds of emergencies. Our EMA director has become a statewide leader as well as our team, and Allison was just recently appointed to chair of a statewide advisory committee on emergency management. Across county government, we're accelerating our efforts to simplify and modernize our service delivery. But just as important as simplifying how we do business and ensuring that residents are aware of what services we provide. County government plays an important role and has the potential to support and empower residents in need. That can only happen if people know we exist and how we can help. I'm proud to say that over the last year, my office and our departments have increased our community outreach with the goal of increasing awareness, addressing needs, and bringing services directly to our residents. Much of this outreach is based on what we're hearing from community members and local organizations. For example, it's become very clear earlier this year that local food shelters were facing increased burden in the face of rising grocery prices. To help our local non-for-profits with food distribution, we hosted several free food giveaways to provide fresh, healthy groceries to residents. In all, these efforts resulted in thousands of pounds of food distributed and hundreds of families receiving assistance. We also know from local organizations that rising prices were making it harder for households to care for their pets while making ends meet. This alarm was also raised by our Animal Control Department Director, Anna Payton, which has seen a sharp increase in lost or abandoned animals over the last few years. We work together to implement outreach initiatives to provide support for pet owners. This includes hosting several clinic events throughout the county where local organizations helped us provide free vaccines, microchips, and foods for hundreds of local pets. We've even seen an increased level of interest from residents over the last year for these events, just as we've seen increased attendance at our regular departmental events, such as our annual recycling collection. Our departments offer incredible services for residents, and I'm committed to supporting their efforts to reach residents. Another great example of departments going above and beyond are the dedication team of our 911 telecommunicators at the Laraway Communications Center. They have a very challenging job, as you can imagine, and oftentimes goes unnoticed. Over the last year, several of our telecommunicators have received life-saving commendations as they calmly talk callers through their crisis. Their stories serve as inspiring reminders of how our staff are directly helping residents. I want to put the spotlight on LCC Director Denise Pavlik. She has done an amazing job at building up our staff and ensuring that everyone is well trained for answering these calls as they come in. And I'm proud to announce next week she'll be formally receiving the Director of the Year Award for APCO, the Illinois Public Safety Communication Organization, in recognition of everything she does for us locally. Thank you. Perfect time for applause. Our departments do more than offer services in times of needs. Our programs are elevating and uplifting residents and communities throughout the county. A significant example is our Community Development Division, which expanded efforts to keep families in their homes who are facing challenging circumstances. Their eviction diversion program, now in its second year, has helped connect nearly 700 households with financial assistance to help them stay in their homes. Understanding that increasing access to affordable housing is the most cost-effective strategy for reducing childhood poverty and increasing economic mobility, the division also partnered with the City of Joliet to initiate a down payment assistance program for low or moderate income families. Utilizing federal home investments, this program has already made the dream of home ownership a reality for 35 households, and their work is not over. This represents a guiding principle of my administration, which is ensuring that federal and state dollars are spent responsibly in ways that make a real impact on people's lives. We're doing this right here in Joliet through our continued use of state funding through the Restore, Revest, and Renew program, otherwise known as R3. Over the last 2 years, Will County has partnered with 8 local nonprofits to provide support to residents in targeted communities using $2.6 million of state funding. These partnerships provide direct support for residents through much-needed social services in communities that have been negatively impacted by violence and economic disinvestment. As a county, we're also increasing our investment in mental health services. Last year, voters approved the creation of a community mental health board. The need for this is clear. According to the National Alliance of Mental Illness, 1 in 5 U.S. adults experience mental illness each year, and 1 in 6 adolescents will experience a mental health condition. Once fully implemented, this board will help expand availability of mental health services along with substance abuse and disability services for our most vulnerable populations. These efforts underscore how empowering and elevating our residents is at the forefront of everything we seek to accomplish at our county level. This includes expanding our transportation vision to create a more comprehensive infrastructure that does more than just connect drivers, but also creates true access to opportunities for all. We've worked closely with our Division of Transportation to increase accessibility, ensure that transportation is fueling our continued growth. This year, we're investing $504 million into our county infrastructure, creating connectivity, increasing capacity, improving safety. This includes ensuring that our roads meet the needs of our residents while reducing congestion in heavy traffic areas. While our Department of Transportation has been thinking big on their transportation vision, they have also been initial in maximizing outside funding. This includes our planned improvements to Route 6, a collaboration between Will County, Joliet, Channahon, and the state of Illinois. This project will ease congestion at I-55 and Humboldt Road, and it will make Route 6 safer for all vehicles. Making our roads safer has been a top priority for my administration. That's why we're using grant funding to develop Will County's first action plan for roadway safety aimed at reducing fatalities on our roads and creating a safer environment for drivers and pedestrians. The county is also sharing costs for the first time with municipalities for building sidewalks and to create safer options for pedestrians. We're also continuing to partner with Forest Preserve District of Will County to establish a Route 53 bikeway corridor that will create expanded connectivity for unincorporated Joliet Township, all with federal dollars. Expanding our collaboration on increased pedestrian access is a great example of how we're advancing our transportation vision. The need for a more realistic, comprehensive transportation planning vision was what guided our Access Will County Paratransit study. Utilizing PACE funding, we took a closer look at how our countywide paratransit systems are serving our most vulnerable populations, such as seniors and people with disabilities. These systems are critical for our residents. They create independence, opening the doors of transportation to residents who otherwise might not be able to leave their home without assistance. The Access Will County study examined our 12 existing dial-a-ride systems and collected feedback from over 1,000 residents. The study found several gaps in our system that make mobility harder for residents and identified areas of the county with limited or no coverage. Our residents deserve better. Our plan outlines a short and long-term roadmap for solutions. For too long, county government has taken a back seat on this issue. Unfortunately, nothing is immune from politics, and as well as I like to put on my rose-covered glasses, we still are a political board. So this full implementation of the study has been stalled, but we're going to keep fighting for this and fighting for a better system for our residents. As county government officials, we need to work to eliminate barriers for our residents to live a mobile life and to move regularly throughout our county. There is not a better time for us as a county to expand accessibility. With a strong economy that points to continued growth, wages are rising, and we have more people employed in this county than ever before. Will County remains a state and national economic leader, and we need to make sure our residents can access the benefits of that growth. Our county remains internationally competitive, and we have increased our role as a regional leader in Chicagoland. In collaboration with Doug Pryor and the Center for Economic Development, Will County joined 6 other northeastern Illinois counties to form our first-of-its-kind partnership focused on economic development. This partnership will help us attract a wide range of businesses that will diversify our local economy. Will County has everything we need to drive growth: a strong workforce, amazing location, an unbeatable transportation and energy infrastructure, and quality communities that people want to raise a family. These factors have made us an increasingly popular destination for a fast-growing sector, the green economy. This was plain to see earlier this year when Lion Electric cut the ribbon on the largest electric vehicle manufacturing plant in our country for medium and heavy-duty commercial vehicles right here in Joliet. Will County is in the right place at the right time to continue to attract green industries and green jobs, and we are working to remain competitive. Last year, we became the first county in Illinois to allow a battery energy storage facility to be developed in unincorporated areas. This year, we are embarking on the first countywide plan in Illinois to prepare for the continued demand for alternate fuel vehicles. The Readiness Plan will create a blueprint for our communities as they continue their investment into alternate fuels and electric vehicle infrastructure. The plan is not just for us. It will help all our communities as they plan for the future to meet the needs of their residents and commuters. However, we are not just attracting green energy in Will County, we're producing it. Our renewable natural gas plant began commercial operations in December and is already producing pipeline quality gas that is being sold on the open market. By converting gas from our Prairie View landfill into clean transportation fuel, we are helping to power the clean energy revolution in our region. A significant revenue source for our future has already raised $3.1 million, with much more on its way. These efforts are good for our environment and our economy. As a leader in new industries, we can continue to support the growth of high-quality and well-paying jobs in our communities. Our high-skilled workforce and our strong organized labor foundation helps drive this. We need to continue efforts to empower our residents to attaining high-paying jobs and support career growth and mobility. Our workforce team is continuing to help job seekers attain career success, along with supporting businesses and attracting talent and upskilling employees. They have also increased their focus on connecting youth with opportunities, including through the Connect to Your Future program that provides mentorship and training in high-demand occupations. They also hosted the first Pathways to Profession Expo earlier this year to connect over 700 high school students with industry professions to help them plan for their future. As a former educator, I know from experience that you need to plant seeds of knowledge early. That's why we're focusing so much attention on youth engagement programs and are working closely with our local colleges and universities. These partnerships resulted in an innovative idea for utilizing our American Rescue Plan Act funding to support our county workforce. Our Will County Heroes Nursing and Teaching Scholarship is investing $10 million in increasing recruitment of nursing and teaching students in Will County. This unprecedented investment is empowering the next generation of heroes in our schools and hospitals, and I thank our 4 higher education partners for taking the lead in this program: Joliet Junior College, Governor State University, Lewis University, and University of St. Francis. We have already had 364 students enroll through this program, and that number is expected to grow. We're not only helping these students get a quality education, but we're going to help create a pipeline for them to stay here and work in Will County. Will County Heroes is an example of the positive impact of the use of our ARPA dollars. Spending the $134 million in federal relief has been a major focus of county government over the last 2 years. We have had a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make long-standing impact with these dollars. During the pandemic, we often discussed the need to come back from the economic and public health challenges that impacted our communities. Our responsible allocation of ARPA funds is powering more than a comeback. It is empowering local governments, organizations, and most importantly, our residents. These investments will elevate people. They will create healthier, safer, and stronger communities long into the future. There are many examples right here in Joliet of how this funding will improve lives and strengthen our communities, and here are a few examples. The Rialto Theater is receiving $3.5 million for renovations and improvements to maintain this historic local site. Guardian Angel Community Services is receiving $1.4 million to provide a rental assistance for victims of domestic violence. The Joliet Public Library is receiving over $250,000 to purchase their first bookmobile. Stepping Stones is about to finalize an ARPA-funded renovation project that will expand their ability to support those in need of substance use treatment and mental health services. And the Rock and Roll Museum on Route 66 is receiving much-needed funding for a water service line to help them open their doors. These are only a few of the projects that will positively impact all Will County residents. In closing, I would like to reiterate that we have much to be optimistic about as a county. I'm proud of what we've been able to accomplish over the last year to support residents and manage our growth. We're working hard to provide quality services, a strong transportation infrastructure, and healthcare availability for our residents, which is helping our local communities in attracting new residents, businesses, and a strong workforce. Everything that we've been able to accomplish has been due to strong engagement with active partners in our communities. I invite everyone in this room to feel free to reach out to my office for our departments with any ideas or initiatives that we can join in on with you. And I'm going to give a quick plug. We have a sign-up letter up there. If you're interested in getting these updates regularly, we do have a newsletter. I wish I could take credit for it. It's a fabulous newsletter. We have like a 60% open rate, which for those of you who have to send out emails, you know that's pretty darn good. So make sure you sign up for that. We're most successful when we have new ideas are brought to the table and we can work together. I look forward to working with all of you over the next year. And again, I thank you for taking the time to be here today. Thanks, Randy. I'll take your questions, yes. Hard. Make them hard.
Does anybody have any questions? Didn't think so. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We get you out early. Thank you very much. Oh, we do have one way back there. Look at that. Oh, did you have a question? Oh, there we go. Way to go.
Heroes program for teaching and nursing. That's a great program, and congratulations and thank you for doing it. How sustainable is that program on a go-forward basis in terms of financially driving it in the future?
Yeah, and that, that is a great question, Jim, and I know that was part of the discussion. Sometimes when you have an infiltration of money, you get to spend it and it goes away. The whole idea behind that, though, was when we recognize that. I think the schools recognize that too as well, that this is a one-time hit. But the goal of this was to ensure that we get students into the school building, or into our universities. And 364 new students tell us that it worked. Our goal is to get them through their 2 years, their 4 years of college, and to stay there. Do we know this is not, this is not going to be a forever fix, but at least for right now, for 364 students, we have helped made an impact. So thank you. Thank you. I just gotta say it, the courthouse is coming down since no one's asking me about it. I had to do it. All right, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you again, Jennifer. Just a couple real quick announcements, and then we'll get you out of here a little bit early. We do have our October business after hours tomorrow night at Siegel's Cottonwood Farm. That's from 4:30 to 6:30. And then a week from tomorrow, we have a showcase in the showroom, celebration of 50 years at Chignoli Auto Sales, and that is also from 4:30 to 6:30. So 2 business after hour type events in the next 2 weeks. Hopefully we'll see all of you there. Thank you again for coming, and have a great rest of your afternoon.